Doesn't seem to be doing anything at the moment. Oh yeah, recording has started. Okay, over to you, Councillor Fielding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Adults and Community Housing Executive Cabinet Member meeting. Only 2 reports to note, well, to look at, and then with the action to note today. But firstly, Sue, has anybody sent apologies? It looks like we've got
I've not actually had any apologies today, although I noticed Councillor Price isn't here, but he has been invited, so I don't know why he's not here, but that's the only one I can see that isn't present.
Okay, no problem. In that case, then we can move on to the action tracker. So that again is just for noting. Does anybody have any questions or comments on that?
Sorry, yes. Can I just raise one?
Yeah, of course.
On page 2, well, it's unmarked, but it's actually second sheet. The recommission of Homes for Bolton choice-based lettings IT system. It went to the exec member in July 23. New contract from the 1st of October 23. I assume that is now in place, and therefore that item could be dropped from monitoring report.
It is, yes. So apologies, that should have been updated, but it will be for next time. But it's complete.
Yeah, I'll put completed on it. Yeah, just talking about the monitoring report. Obviously, we've split the portfolios up now, so all the health and the wellbeing bit's been put onto its own portfolio now, so you won't see that now. But I think most of it's up to date. I know Christian's just sent me a quick update, which I will incorporate into the new one that goes out to members and officers after this meeting. So I think we should be pretty much up to date now, going forward, hopefully.
Okay. All right, thank you. So that amendment will appear in the next time that we see it. Thanks, Councillor Walsh. Thank you. That report is noted. So moving on, it is the Q3 Adults Finance Report. Lynn, over to you.
Okay, so on the adults, the projection is that the budget will be the projection will be in line with the budget once we've transferred 112 from reserves. Capital expenditure, there is no capital scheme within adults for this financial year. Reserves are projected to be 11.448, which is a decrease of 118, and the capital reserves are 1.178. So table 1 has a breakdown of the changes in budget. Then the strategic redirections, the savings were all made in the budget report at the start of the financial year. There's then a breakdown in table 2 of the projections with the 112 reserve movement. Table 4 gives a position on the reserves. And then the recommendations in this report are just to note the revenue budget changes and note the projected financial outturn of the portfolio at the 31st of March. Happy to take any questions.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. So over to any opposition members, questions or comments on this report? No. Thank you. Well, from my point of view, it's commendable that we've taken £4 million out of the adults budget and then only ended up having to support it with £112,000 from reserves. So as you know, we contribute quite a lot in terms of the council's budget cuts, and we'll be doing so again this year. And the work that has been done to give staff more confidence to design care packages that are appropriate rather than feeling under pressure to over prescribe in a way that costs us a lot of money but ultimately isn't good for people. The work that's been done to support people, our staff, and give them that confidence to do that has been really, really positive. So I think that it is worth noting, or at least worth saying, so that that can go back to the team. And if we do staff engagement again, then I'll make sure that I land that point when I speak to our staff. So happy to note that report. Susan, if you need to minute that in a particular way, then do so. And then we can move on to the housing one. So again, Lynn.
Yeah. So the housing one is projected to be in line with budget after a reserve transfer of 853. And on the community safety side, it's a reserve transfer to reserves of 14k. There are capital schemes within housing for 24-25. And the reserves are projected to be 7.423 at the end of March, which is a decrease of 44. Again, the first table just shows the changes in budget from the start of the year. Strategic redirections were all in the adults budget. Table 2 gives the breakdown again to show the financial position at the end of the year. And then there is details of the capital programmes in 3, and 4 just shows the movements from reserves. So this report again is just to note the revenue budget changes in year, note the projected financial position for housing and community safety, and note the projected capital expenditure in year. Okay, to take any questions.
Thanks, Lynn. So over to opposition members first.
Can I just ask, on revenue reserves, you've got balance brought forward 3.2 movements in the year, and balance carried forward 3.7 for existing commitments. What sort of revenue commitments do we have that are 3.7 committed and in reserve?
So I could get you a full breakdown on that, but it's probably going to be it'll be some of the spend that's going against grants that we've previously had.
Right, I see. It's just it seems a fairly large sum committed and unspent for a year. 3.2 brought forward, 3.7 carried forward.
Mark, you able to provide some clarity on that?
So if we give an example, one of the large grants that we do receive is in relation to asylum and refugee spend. So the grant was over £3 million and relates to the number of people that we've got on either asylum schemes like the Afghan resettlement scheme or the Home to Ukraine scheme, but also critically where we get additional income as a result of the Serco properties that are operated here in support of the people that are exiting those properties. And so we get quite a significant contribution from that, but also quite a lot of spend in making sure that we can support those groups with the right infrastructure that they need.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thanks, Mark. So if there's nothing further, again, this report is just for noting, and I'm happy to note, Susan, so that can be recorded.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, no decisions today. Okay,
No.
thank you.
And that concludes the business for this meeting. Thanks for your attendance, everybody. For those due on 2:30, we'll log into the other one.
Thank you.